Since its very birth, humanity has pushed the frontiers of possibility, and intrepid pioneers have opened new avenues for all mankind to explore. Pioneers like Chuck Yeager, the first ever to fly faster than the speed of sound. Yuri Gagarin, the first man ever to look back at our planet from space. And of course, Neil Armstrong.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Space, the final frontier. An endless journey into billions of galaxies known and billions more unknown. The ultimate test of humanity's capability. Because out there, quality isn't just about excellence or leadership. Quality is the only guarantee of survival. At speeds of over 20,000 kilometers an hour, one lapse not only blows up billions of dollars, it means certain death of the entire crew.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation.
From a handful of outer space expeditions a few decades ago to the construction of a habitable world in space, the International Space Station, we've come a long way, haven't we? The countdown for space tourism has already begun, and there's every possibility that before the turn of this century, steps towards populating other worlds would have been taken. Today, NASA is the world leader in space exploration. Most manned missions, most life-altering achievements. But it wasn't always like that. NASA was lagging behind in the race in space. But then, a life-changing leadership vision transformed it all.
The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. We mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Sharply focused leadership vision is the launch pad of every great human breakthrough. President Kennedy articulated what then seemed like an out-of-reach dream. But then, things began to fall into place. Energies got synergized, competences collaborated, and a roadmap was laid for a fascinating journey of growth. The Apollo mission, the first successful moon landing by man. Till date, no other nation has accomplished this feat. But leadership isn't about getting ahead. It's about staying ahead. So a new frontier was chosen, the next challenge. The Space Shuttle, a reliable, reusable, affordable space plane that could put 25 tons of cargo into orbit and then return to land on a runway, like an aeroplane, and take off again. Making the final frontier just another destination required unparalleled manufacturing competencies to be developed. NASA boasts of the kind of new-age manufacturing facilities that are not just ahead of the pack, they often seem to be even ahead of their time. This has been possible due to a zero-defect manufacturing vision. Every smallest component, like the rubber O-ring, must be exactly as per specifications. Path-breaking R&D and cutting-edge innovation has gone into the creation of the Space Shuttle. The part of the shuttle that goes into space is the orbiter. The challenge was to make it go out there and then return to report for duty again. To escape the strong gravitational pull and enter into orbit required finely balanced weight to energy ratio. To ensure this, NASA built two 15-story high solid rocket boosters that produced 1,300 tons of thrust, the same as 17,000 Formula One car engines. And the body was made of solid aluminium, light yet strong. But an even greater challenge lay ahead. how to make the shuttle a regular space traveler, a reliable, safe rite of passage to other worlds. And here, NASA has demonstrated its uncompromising standards of maintenance. Within 10 hours of landing, the shuttle is taken to the orbiter processing facility for checks and repair by a team of 90 people to go back up with all its 6 billion parts in mint condition.
Every landing when a bird comes in, we check for meteor strikes, scratches that may occur on those 6/10,000ths. It'll be about the size of your hair, the end of your hair if you looked at it. That's the size that we look for on the window.
The Space Shuttle program has gone on to become the single biggest contributor to the International Space Station. This man-made world allows 14 different nations to work and collaborate in outer space. The ISS is remarkable for several reasons. It's a remote growing world, already larger than a football field. It's a growth story that knows no equal, just for the sheer magnitude of its creation. And this daunting task could only be accomplished through the astounding commitment of a vast chain of extremely skilled people. Quality has to be the absolute obsessive commitment of every single individual across the value chain. Hundreds of thousands of hours are logged by engineers, technicians, scientists, electricians, and other program workers across the globe. Professionals with the right attitude, absolute commitment, and best-in-class skills, different people, different departments, in complete sync. Redefining possibilities, achieving the unachieved requires the right training and skills. Right up until launch, the shuttle crew will train in a variety of critical regimens, some basic, others specific to their mission. The brief is clear. Whatever the challenge, every single crew member has to be right on top of it. In its many remarkable successes, NASA has gloriously demonstrated its 360-degree quality vision. It is the story of perfect synergy between man and machine, thought and action, quality and scale for life-altering achievements. And yet, there can still be disasters. The question is, what do you do after? On February 1, 2003, to the horror of all humanity, Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated over Texas. All its 7 crew members were lost. Among them, our own Kalpana Chawla. It was just 16 minutes away from landing. The NASA Space Shuttle program was grounded for over 2 years. Several investigations and hearings were conducted. And the conclusion? A damning report that blamed, among other things, reliance on past success as a substitute for sound engineering practices. For continued leadership, it's vital to review the practices of the past, retain the good ones, and discard the bad. That's what NASA did. SOPs were reviewed for all processes. Strict adherence to laid-down procedures was ensured. Today, NASA lives by its pledge towards zero tolerance to error. And there hasn't been a serious incident ever since. Every day, mankind's footprint on the limitless canvas of space grows bigger. The Space Shuttle alone has carried 355 astronauts and cosmonauts into space, spanning 8,280 days of manned space flight. It's the story of growth made possible by quality. But there still is a challenge that needs to be conquered: cost. Because affordability is critical for expanding the frontiers. And towards that end, India has taken a giant leap. ISRO's Mangalyaan at $73 million, the least expensive Mars mission to date, exemplifying our nation's strengths in R&D, quality, and cutting-edge skills. It's a Make in India story made possible by quality in India and skills in India. At Maruti, as we move into a new growth orbit, we have crucial lessons to learn from the history and the future of space travel. The most critical being that in this new trajectory, only the very best will be able to make it. So come up to speed with us. As the captain of the ship, it is upon you to show the leadership vision to your team. Scale up, skill up, induct evolving technologies as they emerge. Develop an obsession for eliminating even the smallest mistakes. We strongly believe that only with absolute commitment towards quality, unhindered growth will happen. Together, we can ensure that brand Maruti Suzuki continues to be on course in its journey of growth. So be here to be there.